Hello, hello. It looks like I'm also live here on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, everyone. This is Sarah Mueller here. I'm your success coach, and today we are going to be talking about balance. So I'm going to pull up my notes so I can take a peek at them. But balance is so interesting to me because a lot of people say that balance isn't real. And so I would say to you, if that anyone has ever told you that balance isn't real, or if you don't believe that life balance is real, it's because it's not real for you. It's because you or they have not experienced it. But I'm here to tell you that yes, balance is 100% real. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you can achieve that today. So I'm going to go through some excuses that hold us back from being in balance, and then 5 specific ways to bring yourself into life balance. And I'm not going to talk about time management. That is not this conversation. There is so much more deeper than time management to creating life balance. And time management, of course, is important, but we're not going to go there today. We're going to talk about even better stuff. So before we get into it, I call balance life balance. I have stopped using work-life balance because I don't believe that we have work and then we have life, and then these two things have to balance. Work is part of our life. There are so many aspects that are part of our life. So I like to just say life balance. And balance isn't about all aspects of your life being equally distributed. It's about being upright and steady. If you look at the definition of balance in the dictionary, upright and steady is the one that I like to align with, because there might be times in your life where work is taking a little bit more of your time and energy, or your children are taking more time and energy, or your physical health is taking more time and energy. And that's okay. When we do the steps that I'm going to talk you through in this live training today, you are able to kind of swing your pendulum back and forth and land in the center in balance, and notice when you're pulling yourself off. So before we get into the excuses that hold people back from balance and the 5 ways to create it for yourself, I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm doing this live today and over the next couple weeks. So I am launching a new membership program called Radiant Greatness. It is a simple way for you to get success coaching and personal growth with me. It's very schedule friendly. It is great value to jump on board. It's only $19 a month. We're going to have a meditation each month as well, and an accountability worksheet that keeps you moving forward towards achieving your goals. So I'm going to drop the link to register for our Radiant Greatness membership below after this video. But this is a pep rally to just kind of let you guys get to know me a little bit more and find out about how I teach, and to get you excited for this membership that doors will close on April 25th. But okay, let's get into a lot of the excuses that I hear. So when I talk to people who are out of balance or just don't believe that it's possible, I hear excuses like, well, I just got too much going on in my life, or I have to handle all of the responsibilities at home and for childcare by myself, or my job is just too demanding, or my kids are young. When they get older, I'll work on taking care of myself and creating balance then. Or I hear, well, I'm not paid enough. I don't have enough income coming in, so I can't buy or pay for the things that would create a balanced life for me. So these are all excuses. And really what I have found that's one of the most important things in my work and for humans being fulfilled in their life in general is to understand that excuses are just going to keep you right where you're at. You can either make excuses or you can make things happen. And so let's break down these excuses a little bit, to just understand how you can put yourself more into the creator role of creating a life that's balanced, that you love, versus being at the end of an excuse that's holding you back. So if you have the excuse that I'm just too busy, I've got too much going on, well, that means that you aren't setting your priorities and you aren't putting boundaries in place to align with what is valuable for you. When I've studied the most successful people among us, billionaires, CEOs, influencers, they are not busy people. Yes, their lives are very full and they are doing a lot, but they are not running around busy. Busyness is something that our culture, especially in the last decade or so, has invited in as a badge of honor. But busy means you do not know how to manage your time. You do not know how to set priorities and boundaries. So that is an excuse, and it's not something that we should be proud of. It's something that we need to address. So the other excuse, I have so many responsibilities that I have to handle at home. My partner doesn't help out as much as I do around the house or with the kids. Well, here's the thing. We all, every single one of us, get what we tolerate. If you are in a relationship where you do 90% of the housework and your partner only does 10%, well, you've set up that dynamic because that is what you tolerated. This is the pattern that you created. And so just because this is your reality right now, that doesn't mean that it has to be your reality forever. You will need to, of course, establish new boundaries and firmly place them and stand in them day after day. When we create boundaries, we have to invite in the initial minimal discomfort that we feel when we establish a boundary in favor of not having to feel that long-term discomfort of a miserable life. The long-term effect of doing 90% of your household work is much worse than the small uncomfortableness that you may experience creating a new dynamic in your relationship with your partner. Okay, the other excuse we can deconstruct, my job is too demanding. It's got too much going for me. Well, if your job is too demanding, it's likely that you haven't put boundaries around your time and your worth, or you haven't asked for help. You are working hard to fulfill an underlying false belief about your worthiness, or feel like you need to prove yourself, or you're not willing to ask for help because you think that asking help means that you're a failure. I'm going to stop there. I can't get into all of these very deeply, but that's often one of the reasons that our jobs are too demanding. Oftentimes people will say, well, I'm in the wrong job. I need to leave this job. Well, that might be true, but here's the thing. Wherever you go, there you are. However you're showing up in this job is the same way that you're going to show up in the next job. So if you want your experience with your job and life balance to change, you have to change. There's no change that's going to happen on the external visibility of your life unless you change internally, which is a lot of what I will be teaching in our membership program and that I also teach in my coaching programs. Okay, another excuse that I get is, well, my kids are young right now, so I'm just going to wait till they get a little bit older and then I'm going to start taking care of myself and start feeling good. So if this is an excuse that you are using, first of all, it's that common excuse that so many of us use, and that just really breaks my heart, because as we make this excuse of, well, when X happens, then I will do Y, we're basically waiting for the future to live the life of our dreams. And you guys, time is ticking minute by minute, day by day, faster and faster and faster every single year. And so why are you waiting to make the changes that you need to make in your life? Why are you waiting to feel good? When we are overdoing for our children, or we aren't willing to step aside and give ourselves time for self-care and for feeling good, there is often a belief that we have about, having to be a mother martyr, or not feeling worthy or good enough to have time for ourselves. So what are you believing that is holding you back from feeling good? And also, how is that impacting your children when they see you showing up 50% full, 20% full? Is that what you want for them? As children, they learn from us more by who we are than what we tell them. So you need to be the role model that you want your children to step into as they are growing into their best selves. And the final excuse that I'm going to deconstruct here is, well, I don't have enough money right now to create a balanced life. I can't hire a housekeeper, or I can't hire help. Well, if you aren't happy with the income that you have, if you aren't happy with the salary that you're making, well, then you have to change. Because none of that's going to change unless you change. Jim Rohn says a famous quote on that basically says what I just said. Like, until you change, the circumstances of your life aren't going to change. And people will come back to me and say, well, if I win the lottery, that will solve all my money problems. Well, here's the thing. You might temporarily make some changes in your life by winning the lottery. But if you look at statistics from lottery winners, 70% of lottery winners end up broke. And 1/3 of lottery winners end up going on to declare bankruptcy. Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're showing up with or without the lottery, you're still the same person. You have to change in order for the circumstances of your life to change. Okay, so those are excuses. I want to now speak about 5 things specifically that we can do in order to really bring about true balance in your life. So again, I'm not going to speak about time management here. Yes, I'm a strong proponent of energy and time management, but that's where a lot of people go to when they're trying to create balance. And I will tell you it's much deeper than that. So the first step that we must do to create balance is to make your unconscious conscious. So in order to simplify this and keep it short, when we were children, we created a lot of beliefs about ourselves and beliefs about our world. We inherited a lot of patterning and programming from our parents and our parents' parents and our culture and the institutions that serve our world. And until we recognize these unconscious thought patterns that we have, things like, I'm not pretty, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I'm not worthy, I am bad, I am alone, I'm not wanted, I'm abandoned, I'm not heard, I should be seen and not heard. Until we make these beliefs conscious, we can't change them. But so many of us are running around with these beliefs controlling our life. And a lot of the work that I do in my coaching programs, some of the excavation that we'll be doing in the Radiant Greatness membership, and then of course with the practice of mindfulness meditation, allows us to start seeing what is going on in our unconscious mind, so that we can be the conscious driver of the bus of our life. Okay, number 2 way to create balance in your life is by spending time on what really matters, or what I like to say as living intentionally versus just reacting to everything that's coming your way. So really, this is what most of us, like 90 to 95% of the people, live their life reacting to life, right? Like we go to work and we check our email and we respond to emails all day long. Rarely do we carve out the time that we need to push the needle and move our goals forward that are really going to make the biggest impact. We're helping other people achieve our goals versus us ourselves achieving our goals. And the other reason that this is so true for so many of us is that, especially when us moms become moms and are in a big career and have a bigger purpose that we want to play in our life, beyond just raising thriving children, is we rarely pause long enough to get intentional and to think about what we really want. And so that's why I'm so excited about my monthly membership program, because once a month we're going to check in and we're going to see where you're at with your goals and your dreams. And we're going to give you that space to really get clear on what you want and put in that plan of action to make it happen. Okay, number 3, and this might be the most important one, but one of the top ways to create life balance is by creating emotional balance, emotional wellness. And the reason that most of us struggle with emotional balance is because most of us do not know how to feel our feelings. And therefore, our children do not know how to feel their feelings because they learn from us. If you think back to our childhood, when we experienced something that made us upset or sad or angry, we were often met with the response of, well, oh my gosh, you're so sad. Well, here's a cookie. Let me make you feel better. Or let's go shopping. That'll make you feel better. Or, oh, be quiet, be quiet. Good girls, don't get mad. You have to look calm and put together and pretty. Even men or boys are told don't cry. You can't be a wimp. You can't cry. You're a boy. You're too sensitive. Toughen up. So it's no wonder that we don't know how to feel our feelings. We were told to stuff them down, ignore them, hide them, put a mask over them. And what happens when we don't feel our feelings is we stuff them down and they cause disease. They cause literal disease in the fact of coming out as a physical illness at some point in our life, or one of our coworkers or a boss or our children or our spouse might trigger us and we blow up. So it's like this feeling comes out sideways when we don't allow ourselves to process our feelings. And in fact, when you are triggered by one of those examples that I just shared, you're not actually triggered by that person. you are triggered by the unprocessed emotion from the past that is now showing up in the present. So a lot of the work that I do with my clients and that we'll do in our membership and in my coaching program is about creating this emotional balance so that you are in mastery of your feelings and processing them and getting their messages, learning from them as they're meant to teach us versus shoving them down and then having them come out sideways later in your life or in your day. Okay, number 4. The number 4 way to create balance is by eliminating drama. And it's so interesting. We are living in exasperated drama, and a lot of the drama that we experience is with our immediate family because it's not really relationships that we can walk away from. So we might have resentment or unhealed emotions tied to our parents or tied to our siblings or tied to an ex or tied to a friend from years and years ago. And until we address those things and we take ownership of our own role in that relationship, we're going to be in this drama cycle. So Stephen Cartman talks about the drama cycle of the perpetrator, the victim, and the rescuer. And I'm not going to go into that in any more detail here just because I want to keep this live a bit shorter. But we tend to be in this drama triangle and just keep perpetuating it over and over again. So notice where you fall in that triangle and let's do some work to pull yourself out of the drama so that you have so much more energy to live the life that you love and do things that really make a difference in this world, that light up your children, that light up your life, that light up you, your business. Okay, number 5. The way to experience, to create life balance for you is to set those boundaries, to give you space to do what you love, to feel good, and to make time for self-care. That's so important. You need to feel good in order to be balanced. And as I mentioned when I was deconstructing some of the excuses earlier, so much of our pain is because we are not putting boundaries around our own wellness, our own self-care. So I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease in 2020, and I teach balance and I teach emotional wellness and I teach ease. Yet it was an eye-opener to me to notice how stressed and how much I really was creating a high ongoing level of stress in my life. Because I'm a high achiever, I was kind of always being productive, always producing, always doing, and I could handle a lot. I could manage a lot. But basically my thyroid stopped working and slowed down and saying, okay. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Radiant Greatness. I did mention it at the beginning of this live. It is my membership program for other high achieving women who, want to be a badass businesswoman and also want to be an amazing mom and who want to have a really simplified one-stop shop for your personal growth. I know there's podcasts and there's books and there's YouTube, but I'm really going to be bringing you high quality, the best content that I can that's going to help you build your confidence, build your courage, build your balance so that you are progressing into those goals and those dreams that you have for yourself. I personally don't stand for mediocrity. I don't listen to mediocre podcasts. I don't read mediocre books. And we will be doing high level, impactful work once a month, simple, in this program to keep you moving forward, to keep you loving or creating a life that you love and to move you into balance. So I'm going to drop the link to register for Radiant Greatness below. Registration will be open until April 25th. So if this seems like something that you might want to do, try it out. Like you can do 1 month, and if it's not for you, no worries, you cancel. It's only $19 a month. And if you do want to sign up for our annual membership, you get 2 months free plus my Simply Start Meditating digital bundle, which includes an ebook, an FAQ, a guide, 11 guided meditations, everything that you need to finally start your meditation practice and stick with it, as well as my Wellness Wisdom mini course, which is a foundations and self-mastery course. So that's $190 with all of those bonuses and a year of Radiant Greatness, Personal Growth and Success Coaching with me. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you so much, and we'll talk soon. I'll be back here tomorrow live with our next training as part of this pep rally. Goodbye, goodbye.